Live video. Live video begins now.
Okay, we are live.
Ow, 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 ow.
Almost on
Wicka, 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 wicka,
Instagram
woo.
too. Well, yeah. I hope we're live on Soul Stories right now.
Yeah, me too. It's very bright outside. Suspiciously bright. Might be a conspiracy. What time is it? Says it's 7. Is it really 7?
It could be. Or it could be 2 p.m. We don't know.
It's been a long time in quarantine, folks. Hard to know what time it is.
Are we... Cool.
Yeah,
Yes,
we are
live on Instagram and Facebook. Coming to you from Chelsea's brand new phone.
That's right.
What kind of phone is this,
10R.
Chelsea? Have we figured that out?
It's an iPhone 10R.
Oh.
Not that I'm like a huge advocate for iPhones or whatever, but you know.
I can't believe you have a 10. That's insane.
Yeah, it was like $100 difference to upgrade from like a 6 to a 10. So I was like, all right.
They're really trying to get people in on that.
Pretty tempting. And it has a lot of memory on it.
And battery.
And battery, number 1.
So what's our question of the week?
The question of the week is, what is something that is weird about you?
Oh.
And we sure would like to know that we are not the only weirdos out there in the world. It's a lonely experience to be a weirdo, as we all know. And everybody's a weirdo in their own way. And first, before anything, I think we should talk about what I'm wearing today.
What are you wearing?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. So this outfit is a statement, a political statement.
Tell us about yourself.
Because I don't know if you have ever worked in a mall. Have you ever worked in a mall, Danny Mazer?
No, but my sister used to work at Arby's, and I used to steal a lot of food from Arby's.
Oh, score.
And I stole
Good
a lot
fries.
of food from Panera. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So you're a criminal, and it's been documented.
Actually, I'm a documented criminal
Yeah.
underneath Panera's corporation. I don't know if I can get hired again.
Oh, dang. So you got fired for stealing?
Got fired for stealing.
Oh, my God.
I am a badass, is what I'm trying to
Watch
say.
out. Hide your kids. Hide your wife.
Hide your kids, hide your wife. I haven't heard that in so long.
Oh, my God. Throwback. Okay, so I really want to take this hat off, so let me just explain.
Yeah,
real quick.
explain it to me.
Because it keeps slipping. So, you spent time at the mall. Anyone who lived in the 90s has spent time at a mall.
Uh-huh.
And at the mall, there's mall walker clubs.
Never heard of those. I spent so much
Groups
time
of
at the mall.
people, really. They
Yeah.
often wear fanny packs, and they wear super bedazzled hats like this one. And they walk the mall. They're mall walkers. I think that they like to do it for safety, but then also maybe weather. And it's like usually like older
This
women.
is a consistent thing?
This is a consistent thing in California for sure.
Oh, California. Okay.
They wear like super bedazzled hats. You can see like all of the flair on the hats. And they get their nails done. They wear like bright lipstick. They're like very Vegas about it. Mm. And they get all dolled up to go to walk the mall. And they like speed walk around the mall. But I also have a theory that, and this is where it gets political, I feel like mall walkers are probably vampires. And that is why I'm wearing this cape. So
And how did that get political?
It's a political statement, trust me. Mall walkers are vampires. Fight me on it.
Okay, I won't.
Better not. So that's my theory. That's my conspiracy theory of the day. All mall workers are actually vampires. And please comment if you agree or disagree. Maybe you're a mall walker. Maybe you're a vampire.
Are out there, I would like to know if you've heard of mall walkers, because
It's a
Danny,
thing.
the other half of this trio, has never heard of a mall walker.
The other half of this trio. I guess it's you and me and the world of the internet.
Oh, what a
The three of us. Just the
You
three
are-
of us.
See, that's why you're
See how
such a
generous
good
I am?
friend. That was such a yes and moment.
That's right. This is why we improv.
Improv. Hi, Greta. Thank you. And we also made it in time, and we almost... Greta tried joining last week, but wasn't able to because we didn't go until 7:15.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah, we were messing up with the tech.
So Greta thought we were just not doing it.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Cool.
And
That
we
makes
almost messed up with the tech today,
But
but
we fixed it just in time.
didn't.
Ta-da!
So, welcome, Greta.
All right, today is about being weird, and that's why everyone is about to meet my weird friend.
Who's your weird friend?
I'll let her introduce herself.
And we are live on Instagram and Facebook, so we'll be responding to both.
She's a mouth breather.
You sound like you have a cold, friend.
I don't have a cold. This is just how I talk. It's classy. My name is Alata Angelique Alingana Spaghetti Avocado French fries.
A lot of food in your name.
Yes. I was actually created to be in the likes of Shelsea Ochoa. Do I look like her?
No, she also doesn't seem to have a cold all the time.
Well, I don't make comments about your medical situation.
What's your medical situation?
Your medical
Avocado,
situation.
French fries.
I might have a cold all the time.
Yeah.
You might
I'm
have glasses. I was made in Chelsea's form. I was made by her foolishly ex-lover named Sean O'Brien. He had her made for me. I had me made for her. And I came out much more beautiful than her, and she's been jealous ever since. It's a very sad story.
That's not very nice.
Do you want nice or do you want the truth?
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
So when did you start doing puppets, Chelsea?
Danny's like, I'm done talking to this fucking weird puppet.
I honestly couldn't do it. I was trying, but
You should see the way kids respond to that thing.
yeah, I was giving it my best shot to go with it, but I just wasn't there for you, Chelsea.
You know what? Not everyone can hang.
I feel like I
It takes
needed.
some balls.
I honestly
It takes
felt
some
like
courage to
I-
really dive into the imagination and commit.
Yeah, I was like, this would have been nice. If I would have gone to your level 1 through 5 improv classes, I was like, I could maybe hang there, but I just froze up as soon as that puppet got on.
Good for you. It's always good to do things that scare you, you know?
Yeah. Well,
And,
I
like-
committed for like a second.
But like, I don't know. I think it's great. Like every time you do something and you freeze up, it's like this. It gives you this feeling of being alive. You know, I think.
Yeah. I don't know if I felt a lot. Anyways, tell
No?
us about your puppet career.
I mean, I don't have much to say about it. Sometimes I work with kids, and the interesting thing is kids will treat a puppet in a very interesting way.
Okay.
Because they sometimes feel like they can tell the puppet things that they wouldn't be able to tell an adult.
Interesting.
And so they'll like disclose information about their family and stuff to the puppet. Sometimes they are really afraid of the puppet because they don't understand it. And sometimes they'll like hit it and like test to see if it's real.
Really?
And then like run away from it. And then like eventually come back. And then sometimes they end up just sitting and talking to the puppet for a really long time.
Wow.
And yeah, I think it gives kids a certain amount of freedom to talk to puppets because it's almost as if they're unsupervised. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And they could probably just like dig into their imagination and be like, this is like,
Yeah.
is this real? Is this not? This isn't, but.
Yeah, yeah. So that's good.
What's our question of the week?
Well, appropriately, the question of the week is, what is something that is weird about you? So, there's a lot of things that are weird about both of us. And I feel like we've gotten weirder and weirder as the time has gone on, and we've been in this weird time where people are putting out their Christmas lights in the middle of April, and people are doing all kinds of weird stuff to just keep themselves entertained.
People are putting out Christmas lights?
Yeah, you've heard about this phenomenon?
No.
Anyone else heard about that? There's people that are like putting all their Christmas decorations out on the lawn or Halloween decorations.
Wow.
Yeah, just for entertainment.
And feel free to join if you haven't been here. Thank you for joining on Instagram and Facebook. Answer our question, respond to what we are saying. Yeah, we're here to just have a dialogue with y'all.
Yeah, and please, answer the question. What is something that is weird about you?
What's something that's weird about you, Shelsea Ochoa?
Well, we've been joking around, so let me go deep.
Okay.
When I was a kid, I was homeschooled, and then I went to public school in 5th grade. And I remember distinctly the feeling of like, I would just answer a question when they asked it in class.
Yeah.
Because it felt like we were having a group discussion. And then I got in trouble because I was supposed to be raising my hand. And it's not that I didn't know that kids raise their hand in school, but it's just that I didn't have the habit developed.
Yeah.
And I felt like so ashamed that I didn't. And I think that that's like a metaphor for my life. Like,
What do you mean?
not knowing when to do the right thing socially because my youth was spent away from like other kids in some ways.
Yeah.
And so just not knowing if I'm doing the right thing.
Will you give us some context for like your background besides just homeschooling? Like what made you so separate? Was it just homeschooling or was there like a different way of life at home versus...
Well, I mean, my mom was a hippie, but I was in Girl Scouts, I was in dance class.
Yeah.
It's not like I was totally like isolated from the world, but just not being in public school every day and just being with my mom and my siblings was just a very different experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was like the youngest person in my family to be like, I really want to go to school. My older sister didn't go to school until she was in 10th grade. And
when did you start?
I started in 5th grade, at the end of 5th grade. Yeah, after spring break.
Which, honestly, that's kind of a brutal time to start school.
Yeah, well, I think I was like, I want to go to school so bad, please.
Yeah.
And so my mom was like, well, this isn't a very good school, the school in our neighborhood. So what you can do is finish all of the 5th grade curriculum. And if you finish it early, then I'll let you go and do the last quarter of 5th grade again.
Interesting.
And so I finished 5th grade according to like the state standard curriculum.
And then you went to
And
school.
then I just went to school to do it again because I wanted to be with people.
Well,
And I've longed to be around humans ever since. And now I'm in quarantine, talking to my hand.
yeah, I mean, I remember 4th grade being the beginning of bullying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why I said that. Not just standards.
So like 3rd grade?
No.
No.
Like 1st, 2nd, yeah, like everything was pretty relaxed. People were just playing, doing their own thing. And I remember 4th grade being a specific time where like there like started to be a division of groups, and certain people were allowed to hang out with certain people at recess. And stuff.
Wow. I mean, evolutionarily, I can see that like maybe bullying is this way of like keeping people kind of in check with the herd.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
who gets, yeah.
But like, I mean, it's just so brutal.
So brutal.
And like the keeping people in check is just about stupid stuff.
I know.
Like it's like this old evolutionary trait that no longer serves us.
Right, like Pokemon cards, you know.
Tell me about it.
Well, just like any fad, like having the best things of shoes or clothes or dolls.
These arbitrary things.
Right.
Yeah.
They kind of... All right, let's see what Jonathan Stahl said. Hi, Jonathan Stalls. He is over here on Instagram.
I love Jonathan Stahl.
I know. I'm so
What a
happy
great human.
He's on. We haven't seen him in so long.
Yeah.
He said, hey, friends. Weird. I sometimes like to pull out hairs on my arm, neck, and chest. Sometimes it just feels good.
Feels good.
Hashtag weird.
Yeah.
I love that.
All right.
That sounds
I
really
tried.
painful for me. Yeah.
I have pulled out gray hairs out of my head recently.
Oh my god,
Feels
I'm
good.
so many gray hairs.
Oh, we're growing old. But I mean, I've tried to pull hairs out of my arm. It's hard. Do you use tweezers or like what's your tactic? Because that sounds really difficult.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Hello. Greta says, I only heard about it on the news. In my neighborhood, I honestly can't tell if they never took them down. She's talking about the Christmas lights and the holiday decorations.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they're just like, yeah, we're in quarantine, but it was up the whole time.
That's really funny. I feel like there is a name for that condition, pulling out your own hair. Is there a name for that condition? I wonder. If anybody knows, please write it down because
Yeah, that's exciting.
apparently Jonathan has a condition.
Thank you for sharing. Please tell us what is weird about you.
Yeah. Yeah, so do you have any like weird, quirky habits or anything like that?
When I get really excited
Uh-huh.
about anything, I often don't show anybody this, but I get up and I shake my hands really fast. And that's like, if you've ever seen me do that, I will never do that in front of like most people.
But if you have so much energy in your body, it just has to come out.
And I like kind of skip and I like prance.
Oh my God, I love it. That's such a good one.
But I remember doing it the other day to the point where it was like, I saw somebody and I was like, yeah, I wasn't doing it. You know?
Sup, Brett?
Hi, Brett. Brett is on both.
Oh.
Ooh, he's breaking the system. Hannah says, I don't have a southern accent and am from South Mississippi.
Why don't you have a southern accent? I never wondered that.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I knew you were from southern Mississippi.
Brett, name one of the thousands of weird things about you.
Brett's gonna be good at this game. Okay, so when I was a kid, my great-grandmother died.
Yeah.
She was old, it's fine. And then we inherited some of the bowls that they had in their house. And these wooden bowls had just like this kind of like white streaky kind ofness on them from being old.
Yeah.
And I was like, those bowls have the ghost of my great-grandmother in them.
Really?
And they're creepy, and I don't like those bowls. They belong to my dead great-grandmother. And I didn't really know her that well. She died when I was very young.
But you believe this?
Yeah, I was like, that's gross. And then for a while, I went through this phase where every time I took a bowl, I would blow it and like wipe it out just in case great-grandma's spirit was in them. I don't know. It was just like this thing that I got into doing.
But you'd still eat it, because once you blew in it, great-grandma's spirit was gone.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like it was an inconsistent thing. Like for a while, I just wouldn't touch those bowls. And then I was like, all right, fine. Now I'll just blow in them. Yeah, my superstition wasn't strong enough to like
to like hold you back.
hold me back when I wanted oatmeal, and that was the only bowl.
Well, maybe you ate great-grandma's soul.
Whoa, maybe I am her now. She was actually a really amazing woman. My great-grandmother on my mom's side, it is known that she had a blue jay in the neighborhood, and she would call to it, and it would call back, and it would like come really close to her.
That's amazing.
Yeah, she was a total witch.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
Let's people are jumping in. Let's see what they have to say.
Yeah.
Hannah says it's a complete mystery. So mystery solved.
Whoa.
Sometimes I feel so good after a shower that I stand there enjoying it for so long, I'm dry.
Wow, you just stand there naked?
That's awesome.
That's pretty great. That sounds awesome.
I want to do that, but I don't know. That sounds kind of cold.
It sounds like an act of patience that I would just like, I don't know.
I love that these like little sensory things can be so different for each of
Yeah,
us. Like
yeah.
Jonathan pulling his hair out can feel good to him. you
I
know?
still don't understand how the heck you pull your hair out of your own arm. That's like hard, I think.
I know. Greta said, I feel like, oh, where are we at? Greta said, I used to do that too. I was in kindergarten, got excited because I was finished coloring, got up, and jumped around. I got scolded.
Oh, no.
See, fuck these teachers.
Sometimes kids
shaming.
need to jump around. You're done with your activity anyway.
Right.
Come on.
Oh. Well, Hannah, I know we didn't solve the mystery. It is a mystery of a mystery of a mystery, but...
Life is a mysterious thing.
Well said.
But, okay, so, like, I feel like people need to express themselves and understand that their emotions live in their bodies more.
Yeah.
Like, in kindergarten, you should express yourself with your physical body.
Yeah.
It's good for you. World.
Well, if only you could go back to Greta's kindergarten teacher.
And
Scold
I'm going to
her.
tell you how to do your job, because I've never been a kindergarten teacher, but I know how to do it better than you.
Sorry if it looks like I'm tapping you all in the face, but we're doing this on a phone and trying to see the comment. Oh, there we go. Brett says I have what's called winged scapula, which I showed Delia 3 weeks ago before quarantine, and she actually screamed out loud when I showed her.
Wow, cool.
Well, I hope you can send us a picture of winged scapula.
I like, can anyone else make someone scream with fear by doing something that doesn't actually hurt them?
Oh, you know what? I made people afraid when I was in high school.
Huh.
All of you who don't know this, I have a really short tongue.
Oh, yeah.
I can only stick it out at her. I can get it down. I can only do that. And I figured this out in 9th grade. And we were all sitting around the lunch table. And I told the lunch table this. And like they were all freaked out. And one girl came back the next day and she's like, I had a nightmare your tongue was chasing me.
What? Oh my God. I wonder if anyone's had a nightmare about me. That's interesting. Has anyone ever had a nightmare about you? World, I wonder.
This is the craziest. This see more button just doesn't work. What are we going to do?
Just slide it.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean? All right, we're just going to get a little... Hopefully you don't get nauseous here.
Oh, Kali has the word for pulling out hair.
Trichotillomania. Mm-hmm. Cool. Hi, Kali. Feel free to comment if you haven't commented. We want to get to know you guys. If we don't know you, we want to get to know you.
Oh, there we go.
Greta said...
Sorry about the shaking.
Yeah, we might have to do that a couple times. When I was little, I would walk around and think, i.e. invent stories in my head. I have met exactly one other person who admits he does this. To this day, I think better when I can move.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally. I pace all the time. Shelsea, will you get more in the frame?
Yeah.
Pacing is how I talk. I have
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why, like, sometimes when we are, like, discussing ideas and brainstorming, we have a dry erase board over here. And the dry erase board, like, sometimes I'll just get up and go stand at the dry erase board because I need to, like, just be moving. And I don't even know what I'm going to write, but just kind of, like, the activity of, like, engaging with the conversation helps.
Yeah. I think there's, like, science behind how it connects to different parts of your brain.
Yeah. And creativity is such a mysterious thing, too, to try to, like, understand your own creative process.
Right.
That's, I think, a place where people get really weird, is, like, within their own, like, what works for you to produce your creative product.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot of weird shit about people that we all just hide from each other, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
Like, we're all playing this game like we're normal or something.
Yeah. Well, honestly, the thing that terrifies me most is, like, the things that I don't know that are weird about me.
Oh, yeah. You always say this.
Yeah.
Well, I
don't like that.
I feel like you just operate creatively. Everything you do is, like, kind of creative.
Yeah. But it's, like, this spooky thing where, like, the thing about me that's terribly weird is, like, looming around me, and it's going to sneak up on me, and someone's going to be like, gotcha! I knew, like, they'll be like, this is weird about you. And I'll be like, I had no idea. Yeah. And then it's like, it's spooky. I don't like it. Does that make sense?
I think that's why people find you enchanting, though. Kali says, I had it when I was a kid, but it switched. Have had dermatillomania since I was a teen. Don't want to talk about this as my weird thing, but happy relating. Great. Relating with long words.
Dermatillomania.
Yeah, Brett said, yeah, but ants probably think you have a huge tongue.
It's all relative.
Oh.
It's all relative.
What's the question of the week, Shelsea Ochoa?
What is something that is weird about you?
Please comment.
We know that you got them.
We know you're weird.
We see you.
And we want to know about you and meet you and talk to you. So feel free. If you feel nervous, if you've never talked to the people commenting, that's even better reason to comment.
It's anonymous, kind of.
Yeah, it's not anonymous.
But, like, nobody's going to be like, meet you at a party and be like, I remember when you said a weird thing on the internet.
Yeah, you're not going to get all your friends researching Soul Stories Live, like, did you say something to this question? Anyways, I know nobody's thinking that.
Want to hear a weird sound I can make?
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. You should make those, what are those videos? AMSDR that are becoming really popular?
ASMR.
ASMR. You should be a YouTube, you could make one of those. You get a lot of views for that sound.
Do you want another weird sound?
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Keep talking to the people.
All right. I'm talking to the Shelsea has now exited the room. She's in the yard. Also, something crazy about our house is Shelsea just planted a large earth flag on a stick that is hanging up to the point that it looks like an American flagpole. And someone even commented that we should have an American flag because it's so high. Anyways.
Do you guys want to hear a weird sound? Sure you do. Okay. See if you can guess what... Sorry, my boobies. See if you can guess what this is. I love that sound. Do you like it?
I mean, I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah, I really like it. This is a different one that's slightly similar.
All right, what are your guesses? What's the sound Chelsea's making?
I find it very soothing.
Do you make that sound a lot?
Mm-hmm.
Like you just like...
Yeah.
I feel like we're on like an episode of Bob Ross or something. Things are going quieter and we're just like, ooh.
I like that sound. ASMR.
Ocean, we're talking to you on Facebook Live and Instagram Live. Ocean says, I've never been able to really tell if I have to pee unless I push on my bladder.
Oh my gosh.
Like I've seen her do this. She like touches her bladder and then she knows what level of pee she has to go at that time.
Wow. Has it ever gotten you in trouble that you don't know if you have to pee and then all of a sudden you have to pee really bad?
Oh, that's a good question.
That would suck.
Elizabeth says, I really don't know what to say about my weirdness. How we distinguish self-sabotage from weirdness from creativity. Ooh. Oh, we got guesses. We have pinecone?
Yes!
Pinecone. Brett says Velcro.
Ooh.
Callie
Sounds
says...
like bark crunching underfoot.
Ooh.
It's pine cones.
Pine cones!
I have a collection of many different species of pine cones in the front yard.
Our two winners are Chazzy and Ocean.
They sound so nice.
You can claim your prize. We have free pine cones for you.
You can actually come over and get a pine cone from the front yard. You are welcome.
If you can find our house,
It's hard to miss. There's a giant earth flag and a weird nature totem in the front yard and a bathtub with a mannequin in it. If you can find it, come on down.
Alright, so this is why I love our friendship so much, because I grew up in the type of household where my dad would like close the blinds after like 7 p.m. and I'd be like, Dad, why are you closing the blinds? We're in the most suburban, nobody ever makes noise. I probably saw a cop car once a year go through our neighborhood, and he'd be like, 'cause there's weirdos out there, you know?
And he'd be like looking through the blinds.
Yeah. And I feel like
he was literally searching for us. All of us. The weirdos out there.
and I feel like living with you has just like broken me open.
Oh, that's good.
Because like every day is a different day.
I can't believe how accepting you are.
I've like walking home and seeing the day that the mannequin, like when Chelsea brought a bathtub into our front yard and then put a mannequin in it, and I asked her about the bathtub and it was midwinter and she's like, well, it was to plant plants in it, and I was like, maybe we put the bathtub in the house until summertime because we can't plant plants in the dead of winter. And that's then when you put the mannequin in it.
See, I was like, this is a good solution for you. We'll just put a mannequin in it, then it makes sense.
So
You've been very lenient.
I mean, you just have like shifted me. It's like it's just so much more fun, you know, to let it out, to let the weirdness out.
All right, what do we got going on?
We're caught up.
Oh, cool.
Tell us about your weirdness.
So let's take a moment to honor the greats, the great weirdos of the world.
Okay.
So anyone that we think is like truly great, obviously Bjork is the first one we're gonna honor.
I wish Bryce was here to do his Bjork impression.
Everything always comes back to Bjork. And you can find a picture of Bjork. A little heart just floated on the screen.
Aww.
You can find a picture of Bjork behind us in the collage.
Hi, Kurt Cole. Thank you for joining.
Hello! Try to find Bjork in the collage.
That's actually our next activity for you all. If you can find Bjork in the collage, is she in the frame of both?
Yeah.
Great. So if you can find Bjork in the collage, we'll give you a third pine cone. We'll get one out of our yard.
You will win a pine cone.
And then Bryce just joined, and he said, "Did someone say Bjork?" Great.
Who are the weirdos that you all honor and admire greatly?
Chazzy says Buckminster Fuller.
Yeah!
Who's that?
You know who loved Buckminster Fuller? My great-grandmother who talked to blue jays. That we were talking about earlier if you weren't here.
Who's Buckminster Fuller?
Buckminster Fuller he was a polymath. He invented architectural designs. He did stuff related to molecular stuff, molecules, chemistry stuff. Mm-hmm. And he was a great poet. Ooh. I had a really good book of his poems when I was a kid that I inherited from my great-grandmother.
It's amazing to be able to be a great poet and an architect.
Yeah.
That's like completely...
Well, so like if you've ever been to a festival and you know how people build those giant domes? Mm-hmm. Those are called buckyballs because it's based on this basic geometric structure that is present in molecules and used in architecture now.
From him?
It's named after him. It's a buckyball.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy. What else you got to say about Buckminster Fuller? You probably know more than I do.
Elizabeth says, I like the smell of petrol.
Oh, I know this about you. Weirdly, I know that about Elizabeth.
Yeah. That's cool.
Or
Yeah,
Eli.
tell us your weird smells. Tell us about the weird people you worship and the smells you like.
Yeah. What, do you have weird smells that you like?
I mean, everyone likes to smell their own farts, right?
No!
I like the smell of my own farts.
What? This guy. Does anybody agree with that?
Raise your hand if you like the smell of your own farts.
What the hell? What is wrong with you?
Callie says, Spaceship Earth.
Spaceship Earth!
That's Buckminster?
Possibly. Yeah, buckyballs, like Earth ships maybe are designed.
Oh, yeah. That's where I recognize that.
But
hi.
also maybe she's reading this. I don't know if you can see on top of the screen. It says Spaceship Earth.
That's a Starship Earth.
Oh, Starship Earth. Yeah. I don't know if that's what you're referencing or not.
Well, we're still looking for Bjork. Greta says, no, I don't like my own farts. Kelly says, ew, no, I like my period blood, though.
Whoa! Smell or taste?
Greta says, they can be awful. Mine can be, too.
And you still like them even when they're awful?
Brett says, wow, that's the new slogan of Soul Stories. I mean, everyone likes their own smell of their own farts.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, well, sorry, community. I thought I was speaking for all of us.
Way to go. You found the thing that you're weird even among the weirdos here. I think that earns you a pine cone.
I don't know. I think they're all lying to me. I haven't...
Oh, yeah. Sounds good. Do it the other way. Not. There you go. What are people saying? I'm pansexual. Both. Nice.
Great.
Both tasting and smelling period blood.
Has anyone, this is from Instagram,
Menstrual blood.
Facebookers, feel free to answer. Has anyone else painted with menstrual blood? I haven't.
I haven't either.
Isn't it kind of chunky?
It can be, but I think you could probably work it out.
Yeah, you'd probably get some color out of that.
Yeah, it depends on the day. It also probably depends on the person. I had a roommate who used to put her period blood on her plants.
What did that do?
She believed that it made them grow better. Like, gave them nutrients.
So kind of like some magic witchy.
Yeah, I think it's magic talk.
Okay.
Maybe there's maybe the nutrients go into the soil. I mean, there's iron. Do plants need iron? I don't know. There might be something to it.
Something.
Nitrogen.
Callie says, of course.
Of course.
So
I'm pretty sure Eli and Callie know each other.
Yeah, they have
You guys
to.
should get together and have a painting party.
Yeah. Paint with some menstrual blood. Send pictures. Post it on the Soul Stories page. We don't care.
I would like to see a painting with menstrual blood. Yeah, for sure.
I'd be down for that.
For sure. I would maybe do that too. Maybe we should have a little party. Painting party.
Eliza says, iron helps soil.
Oh, great.
Sweet.
Eliza is an excellent gardener and gave me some excellent gardening advice.
Have you shown them your garden?
No, there's nothing. There's just a plot of dirt right now.
Yeah, but that was an impressive plot of dirt. Only if
it took a lot of digging out of roots.
If you saw the old plot of dirt,
you need the before and after.
An impressive.
It's gotten much better.
Greta said,
Thank you.
I did find out that smells don't inherit meaning to people, we learn to assign good or bad meaning to smells.
Oh yeah, totally. Smells are like
Oh, that's interesting.
directly related to memory.
Like we don't have like you know how like, is that saying we don't have different taste buds? Like, you know how we have different taste buds? I mean, those develop too, but are they saying like smells are neutral to us and then we develop whether they're good or bad? You know, versus like having different taste buds for like food?
I think it's got to be a combination of both. And this is just me guessing, but like...
Yeah, feel free to explain if anybody knows.
I mean, obviously, like, there's some universally bad smells that we've evolved to not like.
Like skunks or something.
Yeah, or like moldy, rotting food or something that would make us not want to eat it.
Yeah, that gives us like a sense of like not survival kind of.
Yeah, but like I like the smell of burning trash, and just because I associate it with like long bus rides in foreign countries.
Oh, interesting.
And so I like enjoy the smell of burning trash because it makes me feel like wanderlust.
Sounds like you're anti-recycling. Chelsea's anti-recycling.
Let
Chelsea's
it be known.
anti-recycling.
Come protest outside my house and steal all my pine cones.
Greta says, if someone tells you that farts smell good, you will like the smell of farts. I do remember talking about this with my cousins when I was younger.
Really?
Yeah, about liking the smell of your own farts.
Well, how about BO? Do you like the smell of your own BO?
No, but I like the smell of BO with lovers.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
Like sweaty summertime sex?
Yeah. Just like a little BO just like adds a little extra to
yeah.
I'm into it.
Animal.
Yeah.
Animalistic.
Ocean says, I can't lay my head on carpet. It puts me into a really intense rage. It's like a weird sensory thing.
Whoa.
I would love to see a video of the really intense rage from laying your head on carpet.
Yeah.
Just like, ah! Like, you know,
yeah. I wonder if she'd be willing. Because I really want to see that.
That's amazing.
And like, is it like, does shag carpet do the same thing as like the very flat kind of office carpet? Like, does that matter?
Oh yeah, what carpet matters for you? If you're just joining us, we're on Facebook and Instagram Live right now, and our question of the week is,
what is something about you that is weird?
Feel free. We've been chatting, talking about weird shit, and we're gonna keep talking about weird shit.
That's weird. That's right.
For a while.
That's weird.
That's weird. Ocean doesn't have an answer for carpet.
I wonder if anyone has like gotten pretty weird since quarantine.
Yeah.
Like if anybody, I know some people are going to work, everyone's in a different situation, but has anyone just done something really weird because of quarantine?
I feel like isolation can really drive weirdness.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Greta says, some people like skunks. She's learned.
Oh yeah, because it's like weed.
Yeah.
It's not that
bad. Ocean says,
I miss Greta.
all are horrible.
All carpets. Mm-hmm.
We feel for you. We at Soul Stories empathize with you.
Some people like their lovers groomed, you know?
Kelly says, if a fetus is exposed, get in the frame over here. Get in the frame here and here. You have to. It's like a balancing trick. That's not helpful.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was obnoxious. I'll stop.
If a fetus is exposed to the smell of alcohol or cigarette smoke in utero, they will choose a toy with that scent over something like vanilla.
Whoa.
Honestly, you know what's crazy? I think, I have to clarify this, but I think my mom smoked cigarettes the whole time she was pregnant with me.
Oh my gosh. Was
Yeah.
that normal then?
I don't know.
Huh.
Maybe she gave them up. I have this weird feeling that she didn't though.
Maybe she like smoked occasionally.
Yeah, I think that makes more sense. She also
I'm
played
glad you're okay.
a lot of Tetris. A lot of Tetris.
Approve. That's cool.
Yeah.
Tetris is fun. Do you like
Tetris
it?
is a great game. Great game.
I wonder how much of like the utero experience just like imprints itself on you.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, there's no way a kid can tell that their parents playing video games, though, right?
I don't know. I know you play a lot of video games.
I do play a lot of video games.
Do you like Mountain Dew? I know your mom drinks a lot of Mountain Dew.
Oh, no, I fucking hate Mountain Dew. What's weird, too, is my mom or my sister all growing up was like, I hate the smell of cigarettes. That's disgusting. I'll never. And that sister is now a smoker.
Wow.
I never complained. It was annoying to me. I didn't want her to. But now I have the thing where, like, I have gone through periods of smoking cigarettes for a month or for, like, a couple days, and I've never gotten, like, hooked on it.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is weird. Like, I've never felt the compulsion or impulse or whatever you want to call it to be hooked on it.
You're so lucky.
I'm super lucky because
Yeah.
I love cigarettes when I'm drunk.
Yeah.
It's a great sensation. Anyways.
That's really interesting.
Hi, Isaac. Thanks for joining us. Whether you're on Instagram or Facebook, tell us what's weird about you.
Shelsea, I need to put you in touch with a friend of mine. She has 3 kids, and she is convinced their personalities match what she was doing during the pregnancy. I have an ex-boyfriend who, he's Iranian, and when his mother was pregnant with him, she had to flee Iran.
Wow.
And on some kind of like weird psychological, maybe spiritual level, I feel like he is always in this like state of like needing to break away.
Really?
Yeah. He's like a very Fire Nation, very intense Pitta yoga guy.
Fire Nation.
He's very Fire Nation all the way.
Give us the reference.
Avatar, Last Airbender.
This house is
Watch
watching a lot of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
It's very good.
We're really diving in.
And he's just got a lot of fury. He's a very fiery person.
Wow.
And he's also spoken to me about this, that he kind of thinks that like that imprinted on him, that like this, like there was like war breaking out and they were fleeing, you know?
Wow.
I know.
I mean, it is wild to think like how much of a lot of our early life is determined in the first 3 years.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, think about the craziest thing, like attachment style being determined like in your first 3 years. Like, I'm not a psychologist, so I can't fully comment on it.
Yeah.
But to the little awareness I know, or little knowledge I have, like that affecting me right now as a 28-year-old.
Yeah.
Like choices my parents made when I was like 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And like I have to spend years and years and years of rewiring that.
Yeah. Well, and I think that like once you can see it, you can rewire it. I think we do carry a lot of power to
I agree.
transform it. But you have to see it first.
You have to see it.
And know that you can transform it.
Yeah.
I think it's always interesting when people make this kind of excuse like, that's just how I am.
Yeah.
That's just who I am. And like, I don't know, I feel like I've changed so much over the course of my life.
Yeah.
That like
it's a healthy balance though, you know?
Yeah, everything comes down to balance.
Because there was like a time period where I was like, I can change everything. And that was a brutal period because then you're not accepting anything about yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to change, you have to accept parts of yourself.
Right.
So it's like
acceptance is the first step of transformation, I would assume.
Right. So it's kind of like
I guess.
It's kind of this weird back and forth.
Yeah. What do we got?
All we
Epigenetics.
Epigenetics.
Exactly.
What does that mean?
Epigenetics. I'm going to destroy this right now. But epigenetics is like the behaviors that people exhibit in their life can actually change the way they pass down genes. It can turn on and off genes. It's like a new science that is like just currently being researched. I mean, it hasn't even been that long that we like wrote the whole DNA sequence, right, for humans.
So we're still figuring that out.
So we're still figuring it out, but like there's like these things that kind of point to this idea that like the way that you behave in your life can actually affect the genes that get turned on and off for your children.
I'm hoping so. Like, that's the whole point of growth, right?
Right. It would be like a very convenient way to be like your life matters because you'll actually change your children.
Right. Like, besides like thinking about spirituality, that like we can't really predict what's going to happen. You know? It'd be nice to have some concrete examples.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So like there was this thing with like the potato famine. Yeah. Where like a lot of people had like very specific dietary restrictions, and then that had some kind of, I forget exactly how it worked, but it led to either an increase or a decrease in diabetes as related to that. And so there was like, that was like one example that I saw in a TV special that I saw about epigenetics.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it works emotionally too.
Yeah.
Ocean said, is that related to the idea that trauma is passed down through generations?
Right,
Or is
yeah.
that different?
I think that it can be related. Like depression, for example, might be able to be, to a certain degree, affected.
I would have to believe that, right? I feel so certain.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
I mean, if
to
like...
me, like, anecdotally.
If being predisposed to like different... I mean, there are diseases you can be predisposed to getting because of your genetics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like, it has to... I mean, but
Yeah.
we're also still learning about neuroscience. We're so young.
Yeah. I remember from 2000 to 2010, they had the Decade of the Brain. And I was reading a lot of Scientific American at the time, and they were like all of these articles coming about like the human brain, and they were like constantly discovering new things because the federal government like funded the Decade of the Brain.
Oh, that's cool.
It was good. Good times.
For our new people, what's the question of the week?
What is something that is weird about you? Feel free to comment.
Greta says, if you procreate.
Yeah, if you procreate.
Yeah, nice.
Well, yeah. And then like when you adopt a kid, if people adopt, that also is like kind of interesting because it can be somewhat a mystery.
I had the craziest experience this week.
Whoa.
So, a little bit off topic, but it's interesting. I work with, well, that's fun. Kali's now on Instagram.
Cool.
I like people switching between Instagram and Facebook. It's like a little game of hide and go seek. I work with children who've been through trauma. I say this most weeks if you've been on this before. And this week, when a kid freaks out, a kid freaks out if they break property, if they assault somebody, if they hurt themselves. We have to write out a formal report. I write like 1 or 2 of these a week. And you have to call their caseload, caseworker, lawyer, which is called a guardian ad litem for children. They're like volunteer lawyers for kids. You have to call their parents if they have them, foster parents. I called a foster parent about a kid like throwing a chair and like threatening to throw a chair at me. He threw a chair, hit a window, and then he like almost threw a chair at me and my coworker. And I called the foster parent and I told them about it, and they were like, yeah, so we've only had like 6 weeks of training on this. Is this something that this kid does regularly? Like expressing all their doubts about how they're not going to foster this kid anymore. And it was so crazy for me to be in that situation, because it was like, I felt like me telling this information, which is usually so normal, was costing this kid a chance at leaving the facility.
Wow.
It was wild. That never happens. Those calls are all very normal. I've done 500 of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, yeah, that sounds familiar, and we know that he does that sometimes.
Yeah, we usually laugh about it because
wow.
the people are familiar.
Uh-huh.
But I also learned that these people were already planning on bailing out beforehand. But
wow.
yeah, that's
wild.
That's
crazy.
And the whole point to say is fostering and adopting children is a really intensive process. And it's not just for people who like want to make a change in the world or something, or like be like, this would be good because we're overpopulated. You know, adopting is fostering is a huge thing, especially with kids who've been through trauma, and a lot of kids who need to be fostered or adopted have been through trauma, because we have a team of people working with these kids that are mental health professionals and trained in this stuff. Like, could you imagine like bringing a kid or 2 home with special needs and trauma and being able to work with them? Anyways, not to go down a dark hole, but...
Would anyone here ever foster a kid? Would you do that?
Yeah. Do you want to adopt? Do you want to foster?
Yeah.
Feel free to comment.
Yeah.
Also, Bryce says 8 minutes till we howl.
Till we howl. I don't know if anyone out there has heard people howling outside, but it's this thing called Howl at 8. Go outside and howl at 8 p.m. is the Facebook page.
Shelsea and Bryce have started it, and they're all over the news. It's crazy.
You might have heard about it. So at 8 o'clock, we're going to go outside and howl. It'll be great.
So we'll howl from here. We'll bring you with us. We'll come right back.
For sure. So would anybody here be willing to foster a child despite all of that? I mean, yeah, it's kind of on the theme of weird because I feel like they will have so much like social adaptation to go through.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's why I love my kids so much because they are like...
Brett says scowl at the moon.
That's funny.
When people say that we're howling at the moon, I say, no, we're howling at 8. Because 8 is a terrible number and it needs to be howled at.
That was such a dad joke.
I
know. Invader says, I went to classes for a while, but I was really discouraged to take on a child that the state readily admits they want to place back with the OG parents.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually,
too.
That's true. And that's a big problem with us, is the state will take kids away from our place to put them with unhealthy parents.
That's very sad.
I
get that the state wants to keep people with kids. I mean, kids with their parents. Like, you know, like when you hear about the policy, it sounds like really good.
That's the thing. And that's also what's taught me just like about like being on the ground floor of politics, you know?
Yeah.
Is like just because something sounds good in like an article doesn't mean we know like what that looks like.
Yeah.
Like kids not being separated from parents is a pretty like that's a complicated topic for me. Mm-hmm. You know, mental health treatment for all people who need imprisonment is a complicated topic for me.
Why?
Because I think giving mental health treatment is a lot more like, it's not like this person committed this crime, we're going to put you in treatment, and then this person's going to be better.
Right.
It's so complicated what it takes to get better and to heal. And like what resources are admitted. Are these competent therapists? Like who is working with them? How many resources do they have? Like, I don't know. It's a lot. I obviously support treatment, but I think there's just so much more to these discussions than we would like to think.
Yeah. I mean, not to get too into it, but like the amount of repeat offenders in the prison system is so high that obviously just like throwing people in jail and then letting them out and throwing them in and letting them out isn't working.
No.
So there has to be some kind of like a mental health kind of support.
Totally.
And resource support probably, because I don't know how many of the crimes that are committed are actually related to poverty too.
Right. And yeah, and just going through the whole court system. Anyways, we could really get into that. Kali says, I had a very, very rough childhood and would be happy to help knowing what I went through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ocean says, always thought about fostering or adopting kids who are close to aging out of the system. Seems like a time they need the most support. Maybe later in life, I'll try it. And that's true for the place we work at.
Yeah. You could adopt a kid for like a year, but then they're still going to need so much support after that, right? You can't just like kick them to the curb after. By the way, Bjork is right there.
Why did you give up Bjork?
Because people had time to guess.
Callie says, state gave me the choice of staying with my crap or probably getting hurt by more people. At 9, I chose the devil I knew. Interesting. Kid choice is a very interesting topic too.
Yeah.
Invader says, I was also drawn to taking on older kids, and I think that's where my energy will go. Cool. This is a cool discussion.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Hi, Nico. Thanks for joining.
Nika Nix. That's a weirdo for you.
Go outside and scowl at Brett Randell. The group would probably get 700,000 people in a few hours. Brett says, we need to ask the moon what it thinks about all of this.
I feel like the moon just fought coys all day. Like, it doesn't think, it just is.
And Greta says, I fall into the group of people who know fostering and adoption are necessary and good in theory, but I don't have faith I would be suited to do it, and I struggle with that reality. I don't even feel confident to raise my hypothetical biological children. I think that is, everybody should start with that.
Yeah, more people should say that.
Right. I think a lack of confidence leads to you getting those skills if you really want to do it. Because I'm sure there are programs to get those skills.
I'm really interested in this theme of like, tell us about examples of like moments when you have stupid confidence when maybe you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Like people who have kids who maybe shouldn't.
That's a whole nother question.
Yeah, that's like a good opportunity for weird talk too, though.
Yeah. Facebook Live, Instagram Live, in a couple minutes we're going to go howl. We can't move you, though, because we don't have the technology. You're sitting on a tripod, rubber banded to that tripod. So if we move you, it'll be a long process. But we will move Facebook Live with us to howl.
Yeah. We'll howl quickly.
We'll howl quickly. We'll be back. So don't leave us. Or leave us. Whatever you want to do. We're not attached to you. Like, we could... But we love you.
We love you.
Yeah,
Don't leave us.
But we need your attention. That's why we're here.
7:58.
7:58.
The moon says, wait till you see my dark side. Ooh, invader.
Let's go.
I wish people couldn't have kids until they had successfully fostered a few.
That'd be cool.
Interesting.
Good trial.
I think those skills can be different, though.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But I think I think that would, if you fostered a kid, you'd probably be way more ready for...
You'd be like, this is so easy.
Yeah. Greta says, LOL, so high tech. If you guys want to donate to Soul Stories, send us a way to hold up our Instagram Live outside of a rubber band. Amy Jones is on. Hi, Amy. Invader says, how about a license? What's your name, Invader? Tell us your name so I can say your name, if you want to. Otherwise, don't. Whatever you want to do. How about a license to have children?
That's an interesting topic, too.
Is
it like a natural human right to get to have children?
If we had a license and test, though, it would get so, like, oppressive.
It would get weird political.
Yeah,
and,
we'd start, like, white supremacy would show its nature and oppress people of color. And
what if you had to have a license to have U.S. citizenship? Like, everyone who has to test into the country? Like, we were just born Americans with this, like, we naturally get to be Americans.
Yeah.
But what if you had to test in? Okay, let's go.
All right, we're going to Hal.
Here.
Stay, or go Hal. We're going. Do you guys hear us?
Don't run over! What's up? Hi, everyone. Is that the Soul Stories?
Our neighbors came out.
All right. Thank you for joining. I hope you guys...
It's growing every day!
Okay.
Oh, so exuberant.
All right. So the crazy...
More neighbors than ever this time.
The crazy thing, right now, Instagram Live. The Instagram Live, you have 1 minute and 30 seconds before this closes. I don't know what's been happening, but
So cool.
if you want to keep on, we'll stay on till 9 and we'll be on Facebook Live. But for some reason, Instagram Live only gives us like an hour now.
Yeah.
It's kind of unfortunate. That if you heard that, Colorado, we'll be on Facebook Live until 9. Instagram Live will be closing.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so liberating.
Oh, it's so exuberant. Oh, we can still hear our neighbor howling.
And you're looking at one of the people who fucking started this thing. That's crazy. Ugh.
It's funny, like, I've said this before, but like, of all the things that like you can work really hard on in life, you can also just like make a Facebook page and get lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Like, I've done much more stressful, difficult things. I'm trying to build a school in Honduras. And then, like, we just make a Facebook page and everybody cares.
And everybody's got you on the news. Good night, Invader. Thanks for joining us.
Good night. I'm going to put my hood back on.
Okay. I'm going to end Instagram Live, and we will be on Facebook Live.
Cool.
Cool. 21 viewers. All right, Facebook. I know you have been waiting to have just Shelsea and I to yourselves.
They're probably, like, doing the dishes, folding the laundry.
Right. They have us on mute, and they can only see our mouths moving. They're like, oh, that looks like a...
Maybe they muted us and they're just making up what we're saying.
Yeah. Can we mute us and make up what we're saying?
Oh, no.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Science.
Greta says, I still can't hear anyone howling. The virtual howl was the most company I've had with to date. Oh, that's nice.
That's good, at least.
Where
Where do you live, Greta? That you don't hear howling. That's a bummer.
Yeah. Also, if you go on the Howl at 8 Facebook page, Bryce and Shelsea do the Facebook Live every night.
Yeah.
So you can also
We go live real quick. Yeah.
enjoy howling with them.
Yep. There's lots of videos on there. I apologize in advance if you see some random buttholes or something, because sometimes trolls just post random stuff like buttholes.
Trolls got nothing to do but look at buttholes.
We gotta fight them back. Fighting the trolls.
Fight the buttholes. Ocean says, so many fireworks by Cheeseman.
Oh, that's so cool.
Cheeseman's just blowing up. That's
Some
crazy.
people on our Facebook page also hate the fireworks.
Really?
It's a big point of contention. Don't bring up fireworks on the holiday page.
Everything is a point of contention.
People have opinions.
People have opinions. Illyria Swansea.
Oh, cool.
Sunnyside is howlers. That's cool. Globeville and Cole and other... Oh, wow.
Nice.
That's cool.
That's awesome. Glad to hear it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
My cousin just texted me Highlands lit as fuck.
Oh, Highlands.
Highlands. That's awesome.
That's awesome. It's around the world.
What's the question of the week, Shelsea?
What is something that is weird about you? What about, for you, who is your favorite, like, as far as the greats go?
That's, like, weird.
Who's a weird idol of yours?
I was just listening to a podcast with Andre 3000.
Oh, all right.
And he is incredibly isolated sounding. And it sounds like the Outcast thing, like, was just a development of his expression of weirdness.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, the fact that he's such, like they're such talented rappers, and they could hit such amazing topics, and they were so fucking strange.
Yeah.
Like, they made it, I mean, you know?
I mean, yeah, especially in, like, rap culture, I feel like there's a really strong feeling of, like, there's a way to be cool.
Yeah.
And there's, like, a way to not be cool, and, like, the whole way to win the game is to be, like, the coolest person, and that's, like, a very limited world.
I think even in American music, we've talked about this.
Yeah.
I think America limits itself in its music sometimes and its creativity. Mm-hmm. Because you got to have Instagram followers, you got to be able to, like, appeal to people and be likable.
Yeah.
In this social media generation.
Yeah. I know, like, I think that, like, American social culture, even though we don't have laws about, like, don't be weird, the social culture is, like, can be very weirdly oppressive, to me at least.
Yeah.
Like, one of your favorite musicians is Aldous Harding right now.
Yes.
Swedish?
New Zealand.
Oh, New Zealand. I thought she was Scandinavian. Yeah, so...
I thought it was New Zealand. Anyways.
She's not from the U.S. Like, some of the most interesting music that I've ever heard is, like, I love Mongolian throat singing. I love the huh, you know? Like, and it's just, like, I think that for me, like, what's really exciting in life is things that I haven't experienced before that are weird, I guess. Yeah. It's not a really novel statement, but that's what I have to say.
I mean, kind of a novel statement. I mean, I love American music. I love it to death. I listen to it all the time.
Yeah.
But I think we tend to limit ourselves with social media.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at the Howled 8 page, it's just like per person will post like just a selfie of themselves smiling, and then a bunch of people sometimes will just pick it apart.
Really?
Be like, there's like someone was sticking out their tongue, and all these people were like, "Gross, brush your tongue." It's like, that's so mean.
That's so mean.
People just think they can be mean to each other.
Well, people who have just joined our video, what's weird about you? What's
Yeah.
something weird about you? We are looking for all comments. We're looking for a dialogue. We've been on here for an hour. It's been awesome. It's gotten deep. It's gotten weird. It's gotten goofy. And we're going to keep going. We'll be here till 9.
That's right. So, I mean, I guess, like, going back to the famous person thing, I just feel like it's, like, this huge risk that you take. Because if you are bland, you'll just be lost in the crowd.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And if you're weird, you'll either be completely shunned and you won't even be welcome in the crowd, or you'll be accepted and be able to be, like, a trailblazer of some kind.
Yeah, like,
It's a huge risk.
what it takes to be the weird trailblazer. Like, there's millions of people who are just too weird or not talented enough, you know, that don't get selected.
Right. I'm sure that there's people that are, like, could have been amazing and famous, but instead they ended up in a mental hospital.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, like, can be really extreme one way or the other. Like, I feel like for my mom, like, in an alternate universe, she could have been, like, famous and people would greatly admire her and she would have all of these fans.
Yeah.
But she just didn't quite make it over that edge. It's like trying to jump from one cliff to another and there's a big gap in between.
But
You just gotta jump.
even the famous thing doesn't, like, save that, though, you know.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Plenty of people with mental health issues that are famous end up still having them way later in life.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's just pushed off for a while because they're validated by society, I think.
Yeah.
Hallie says, agree on the kids thing, Greta. Mm-hmm. We were talking about adoption and fostering earlier. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I kind of like to torture myself, and so I could see myself fostering kids.
Really?
I have this, like, hunger for discomfort. So sometimes I'll just, like, do something that's hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's so funny when it just brings up so many experiences, and I just get so opinionated so fast about fostering.
Yeah. I mean, you have way, like, more of a clear understanding of what it's actually like than I do.
Well, I have a clear understanding of what the results of bad fostering is.
Which is what?
We just, like, I get the kids who are in foster homes, and I hear the stories. I've never fostered myself, so it's an interesting position, you know?
I mean, don't most foster parents come in with good intentions?
I don't know. We have plenty of kids who've come abused specifically by their foster parents.
Oh, wow.
Like, biological parents, foster home, biological parents abused by biological parents, foster home, abused by foster parents, Denver Children's Home.
Oh, wow. God, that's so sad.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about this earlier with family weirdness, or I guess we didn't go too deep into that. But, like, school. I think what's interesting about school is, like, school is often school's biggest goal is, I think, to socialize us more than to educate us.
Yeah. I think the majority of time in school is spent on that, at least. Like, you do get some basic understanding of math and geography and whatnot, but a lot of the real energy and time goes into socializing.
And what they teach us is they teach us socially acceptable things to know.
Like what?
Just like the way history is taught. You know what I mean? Like, if
Yeah.
you go, or history, like, if you go into, like, my social studies class, they're still teaching the same things that I learned. Like, you know, that were decided that those are the things you need to know for history.
Yeah. Like the 13 original colonies and the founding forefathers.
Right. And Roanoke. And, like, that's crazy. But, like, why... There's so many more things that happen. We have so much more access to so much more information. And, like, how are we're not changing the curriculum. What are you doing?
I'm raising my head.
Yes.
What's Roanoke?
Isn't it the colony that, like, disappeared from North Carolina or whatever?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay. That was like
Now I know.
a mysterious thing growing up.
I think part of it is like part of our differences is also state-wise. Like we were talking about that book that you read the other day, and I was like, oh, and when I was a kid, we read this book called Ramona, which is named after an Indian princess from the region that I'm from in California, and how she like saved her tribe. And it's like there's actually a town called Ramona, California, that's named after her, and she's like a really famous person in California. But what was the book that you read?
Bud Not Buddy.
Which is...
It's about shanty towns in, I think, Grand Rapids, Michigan, during the Great Depression.
Yeah. Which
is very Midwestern.
Yeah.
Let's see what... Interesting conversation. What do you guys think about school going virtual during this time? Asking for my niece who's in high school right now. I think it's kind of, I think it's just kind of what people are doing because there's not many options. We're going virtual right now at my school. I know like there's a school I know of that's going virtual that is doing pass fail, but their principal has not told the kids that they will not fail any of them.
Oh, dang.
They're going to pass everyone, and because I think they're a low-income school.
That's crazy.
There are schools sending out technology, computers, for kids to access it. There are schools that are dishing out all the technology these kids will need. It's a crazy, crazy time.
I'll just say about that. I mean, I would love to hear from like your niece or like someone who's actually in it, because I don't really know what it's like.
Yeah.
But I imagine like the pros and cons, and like as far as socializing goes, like I wonder if some kids are like relieved to not have to go to school and not have to face the social pressure. Maybe they get some time to actually like reflect on who they are as a person.
Yeah. I feel like I keep referencing the kids I work with, whatever. But like one of our kids who really struggles in social situations, always kind of messes up because he feels socially anxious, I think, is crushing it right now. Doing so much homework, so much extra work, because he's great at school.
Yeah.
But like when kids are around, he like tries to be class clown, and he like gets himself in trouble. That's an interesting point.
Yeah. And then you can also think about like internet socializing. For high school kids.
Yeah.
Oh, what a mess.
Right.
I'm sure people are 10 times meaner on the internet. It's very sad.
Something I'd like to ask you guys, if you're enjoying this conversation, share these events with your Facebook friends. Share this feed with Facebook friends. We just want to make this a bigger conversation and continue to bring more people in to chat with us.
Yeah. And share the question of the week.
Yeah.
We have a lot of comments from the question of the week that we can go through too.
You want to do it?
Yeah, but let's read these comments
Yeah,
first.
what does Greta say?
Greta says... Sorry, I gotta scroll here. Like, finishing school, you are learning what is okay and not okay and polite to say.
Oh, sorry. If you just tap the... Oh, this was working better. Okay, sorry to shake you. Okay, we're back.
You're learning what is okay and not okay in polite society. And incidentally, you get exposed to non-polite society amongst peers, too. That's true.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, says Amy. Yeah, and I would wonder, how is it going for your niece? My niece is 2.5 years old, and she hasn't interacted with a child in a month. And every time we're out and she sees kids, she goes, Mom, look at those kids. What are they doing? What are those kids doing, Mom? It's so sad.
Aww,
it's so sad.
She just wants to play.
She's like just stuck with her mom all the time.
That's hard.
And I can't hug her when I see her. She'll like chase me and have to run away.
Really?
It's so sad. Aww. It's the worst part about quarantine.
That's sad.
All right,
what's the question of the week?
Comments. The question of the week is, what is something that is weird about you? Jake Miller said, that one thing. Let me tell you something about Jake Miller.
Yeah.
When I first met him, he taught me a lot about animal penises. That's the first thing we talked about. He
That's
was
the
like,
one thing.
What do you know about animal penises? Let me show you some pictures. Because in Iceland, there's an animal penis museum, like the phallus museum or something. And they have whale penises that are huge and all kinds of penises there.
Wow.
So that's weird.
Weird. I don't know if I want to go to that museum.
Honestly, there are things that I wish I could unlearn from that time. Sue said, first, Greta knows Sue. Sue first said, I'm amazing at correct for. And I was like, oh, is that like a joke? Like, I'm going to try to correct you, and then you're going to make me correct you 4 times, and then it'll be a joke. But then she fixed her typo, and now it says Connect 4. I wish I was good at Connect 4.
Connect 4 is a great game.
Yeah. Alicia, who has the same name as my little sister, says, my father was a pathologist. I would shadow him during autopsies and would help him with putting the organs on the scale for him. One day when I was 13, he taught me how to sew a Y incision on a body.
Wow.
That's badass.
That is the pathway to expressing some weirdness.
I feel like there's a bunch of like pale goth kids that are going to have such a crush on Alicia because of this.
Yeah. Goth kids that just like dream of that life.
Greta has a brochure from the Penis Museum. That makes sense.
That's amazing.
Rachel Hansen says, I eat French onion chip dip on my cheeseburgers, but they have to be from the grill. That sounds pretty good, actually. French onion dip on your cheeseburgers? I'd go for that. I love the smell of hockey rinks before anyone is there, before the players and spectators come in.
Interesting. Hockey rinks are fucking awesome. They're just a great place to be because of the coldness.
Yeah?
Yeah. There's just an energy about them. It's like exciting.
Ooh, yeah.
They're kind of cold.
Yeah, it kind of puts you on alert or something.
Yeah.
Like when someone smacks your butt, for example.
Yeah, I guess that counts as that.
This is like how much of a theater nerd I am. First, I make references of like smacking butts. Very theater nerd. Secondly, I'm in a cape. But thirdly, the only time I've ever been to a hockey rink was because I was...
What's a honky rink?
Whatever.
Same thing.
Tell us your thoughts on honky rinks.
I was there to perform at it. But I've never seen a hockey game.
You just performed and left?
Yeah, there was an ice rink in Finland, and then we put up a stage on the rink.
Oh, that's cool.
And then people came and watched it. It was cool.
Outside?
Inside.
Oh, inside, okay.
Yeah.
Callie says...
F yes.
F yes. I think that's referencing the body sting.
I thought she was referencing the onion dip on the cheeseburgers.
Yeah, tell us what you're referencing.
Or maybe she's just like, life. F yes. I can see Callie just being like, F yes, in general, across the board. Yes. I saw Callie yesterday, and she was wearing an amazing purple onesie. It's like, so killer. She's
That's amazing.
Fashion. Same thing. Lots of hot honkies there, lol. Yeah.
Honky rinks.
Same thing. Jorge from Brazil says, among many unmentionable things, haha, I can't handle this one. I cannot handle this one.
Jorge likes eating beans with pasta and bananas.
Why? How? I don't understand. I mean, I'd try it, but it's weird.
Alright, I mean, we already know what that's gonna taste like. It's
Yeah,
just
but wouldn't you try it?
Yeah, but then I'd just be like, I knew it.
That's fair.
Collie says, surgery. Told you.
But F yes in Jen. Yeah, you're right. I did an autopsy once, or a cadaver lab, and they had... Did you just fart?
No, I didn't fart.
It smells like a fart.
Bryce, did you open something that's smelly?
No.
No. No, I didn't fart. I would tell you guys.
I mean, I'm cutting an onion.
Anyway, we can
Yeah,
move on.
obviously that's it. How was that a no? Get out of here.
Anyway.
Do your bullshit.
What was I talking about? I was talking about how...
My farts smell good.
Oh, I did a cadaver lab, and there was a tumor inside the brain of the person. It was really cool. When they do the cadaver labs at Rocky Mountain Community College, they cover the hands and the face because those are the parts of your body that are the most intimate. And people get really spooked out and they'll faint and stuff if they see them because
Really?
it's too real. And so they cover face and hands.
That's a great idea.
I think
I
it's...
don't want to see a face.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
I
terrifying.
do,
I would
be
make up
terrible.
that person's life in a minute.
Yeah.
That's all I would do is spend, like, questioning what that person's life was.
but... Right, like you start imagining the moment of death.
Yeah,
Or like, were they scared?
right.
Probably.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe they were accepting.
Yeah, I guess that's so weird.
And someone's hands can tell you so much about them too. Which I never thought about until they told me that.
I need to work in hospice at some point in my life.
Yeah, you would be so good in hospice.
I heard working in hospice is one of the most like educational things you can do for yourself.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Kali says, I don't like the fallacy of specialization. I think I could do surgery. Steady hands and you too.
Oh, wow.
Confidence.
Yeah.
That's all it takes to do surgery. Shelsea will volunteer to be.
Will I?
I already volunteered you.
Okay, but I mean, I'm willing to consider it. But like, what kind of surgery are we talking? Like body enhancements?
Yeah.
Okay.
Big lips. Yeah.
No.
And big puffy cheeks.
No, those are like the boring Hollywood things. You know, I'm not going to go for that. What can you add as additional features onto my body?
Horns.
Horns. Can you give me horns?
YouTube and steady hands.
Can you attach wings to my muscles in my back so I could fly? Even if I couldn't fly, like I would go for wings just to have them as decor. If I could move them, you know?
That'd be so freaky. You'd have these like crazy stitches coming out of your back that would be like kind of bloody.
It'd be hard to sleep.
Yeah, and I would never hug you.
You would hug me.
I would stop hugging
Do
you.
not lie.
If you
love me so much, there's no way you wouldn't hug me.
If you had wings coming out of your back,
Danny, you would hug me.
I'm
lovable.
Chelsea asked a question earlier today. Is it a time for high standards or being forgiving? And this is a time for high standards. Don't get wings on your back. I won't hug you.
I will never hug you again.
Kali says, yes.
Yes to horns.
And Greta says, back to wings scapula. Mm-hmm. Full circle.
Yeah. I love it.
Wing scapula guy weigh in.
That's great.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we were talking about how sometimes in life there's a time to have high standards, especially in regards to other people. Like, sometimes just don't surround yourself with people who are douchebags, and don't let people treat you bad, and like have high standards. And then at the same time, there's also a time in life to be forgiving of people and be like, sometimes your friends say something stupid. Sometimes people aren't perfect, but you can still like love them and help them grow through it.
Yeah.
I think a big distinguishing factor is like, are they here for growth?
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
And Kali says, so horns then.
Horns!
Horns it is.
My favorite dinosaur is the Triceratops, so maybe we could do 3.
What? What a boring choice.
What? 2 would be the boring choice.
Triceratops?
Yeah, you don't like them?
I mean, for you, I thought you'd choose something kind of crazy and wild.
No, because...
Triceratops is like one of the first dinosaurs you learn about.
Yeah, but the cool thing about the Triceratops is when I talk to people about it that don't work at the museum and aren't total nerds, they can still imagine a Triceratops. I don't want to be one of those snooty science people who's like, I like the Cosmoceratops. I want to be like one of those people who are
Is
like...
that a real dinosaur?
Yeah, and they're really fucking cool. That's my secret favorite, actually.
Chelsea actually is a secretly like snooty science person. She just
But I
is
don't want to be like,
really
Cosmoceratops.
She's just very socially skilled at not letting that part of herself
I
out.
just don't want... I feel like it's snobby to like the Cosmoceratops.
You just know a lot.
I happen to know what a Cosmoceratops is.
You know a lot of things
Shut up.
that I don't.
You know all the things I don't. Shut up.
Yeah, they revolve around like cartoons
Get out of my brain.
and like
Get out of my movie. Amy says, miss you guys, I'm off. Something weird about me. Once worked at an adult store and could probably tell you more than you wanted to know about personal or partner or more pleasure in 2005. Is that weird? Maybe not. Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, well, are you sure
great.
You have to leave? Because can we ask you a few questions or are you off?
You can't just drop that knowledge and get out of here, Amy. Damn.
Yeah.
2005.
I feel like I don't know everybody who's on here. I can only see a number. And I know that I have a couple friends on here that are pretty sex positive.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
great. Okay, so we can ask you anything in regards to pleasure stuff. I have a question. Okay, pheromone perfume.
Does it work?
Does it work?
Is it a real thing?
Is there science behind it? Or maybe it just gives you the confidence and that's like enough.
Or do you just like sweat your armpits into a bottle and then they replicate that sound?
Back to you liking people's BO. Yes, it does work. Interesting.
Wow.
Do you have to buy the top brand stuff? Or is like any of it work?
Asking for a friend.
Was it different in 2005? Oh my God. 2005 was so long ago.
How old were you?
I don't know. So long ago. Okay, wait. Let me think about it.
I was in 9th grade. No.
I think
Yeah.
I was 18.
I was 9th grade.
Yeah, that was 18, and I was in Europe.
I was 14. And Strongsville, Ohio, which is kind of like Europe.
Kind of like Europe. Lots of Polish people in those places. Nope, you do you, boo. Oh, okay. So maybe you don't necessarily need to buy the top brand stuff. But the pheromone stuff does work. I wonder, like, they must have done a bunch of tests on it. Do you wear it, Amy?
Do you really think they did a bunch of tests on it?
Yeah, maybe they had people, like... I know they've done tests where they had people smell shirts and then look at people, and the people whose BO they like match the people that they were visually attracted to.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
There's a whole big research thing that happened on, like, smell and, like, who you're attracted to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was, like, very consistent. I was in college. I was sleeping my way around study abroad semester in 2005. Yeah, have fun with that. Yep, that's my vote. Amy, what do you do to have sex appeal? Like, what's your number one tip to just, like, how to be sexy? Like,
And
what's
we
the
already
secret?
know that these glasses are kind of it.
If you're into Harry Potter, which a lot of people are, to be fair.
One of my kids called me...
If you're Gryffindor...
One of my kids called me Waldo, which they do, and I was like, oh, original, because he's new. I was like, to the other teacher, how many kids call me Waldo? He's like, everybody's calling him Waldo forever, man. Not original.
We tend to be attracted to people that have opposite pheromone makeup as us. It's an evolutionary thing. Oh, that makes sense. What's MHC genes?
Yeah, give us your acronym.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Mental health compatibility.
Macaroni, horchata, comida. I'm hungry.
Those are different languages. Thank you. Amy,
right.
come
All
on.
Amy would know. She's got good taste.
Who else wants to compliment me? It'll make my low self-esteem go. Oh, Danny's looking for sympathy now.
You love yourself, though.
I do.
Danny loves himself.
I do.
Good. You better.
Okay. What else we got?
Major histocompatibility complex.
Oh, that's gotta have
Genes.
Is histo...
Like histamine?
Histamine, what's that?
Antihistamine is like anti-inflammatory.
Yeah, that's the only way I know that.
Yeah. Yeah, but tell us about it, Callie.
I'm gonna get some water.
Okay.
Keep it rolling.
You're good enough, you're smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like you.
That's right, Greta. Thank you.
Greta was the person who played the killer in the murder mystery thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
She does murder mystery with me. Callie says, I was primed before dropping out of my fifth degree attempt to talk to people about sex for a living. Ooh, interesting. Yeah. I would love to know more about that. So, yeah, Amy, if you are still here, or if anybody would like to add any tips for being sexy, that sounds good to me. Or, on the theme of question of the week, bye, Amy, love you. She says love you too.
Bye, Amy.
Or for question of the week, if anybody has something that's weird about them.
What is weird about you? What's the weirdest thing about me? What's the weirdest thing about me that you know about?
Oh my God.
And not weird to you. Because things that are weird to you are often normal to a lot of people. Like playing video games.
I guess the thing that makes you most awkward
Yeah.
is that...
That's a great in.
I think the thing that makes you most awkward is like your level of like vulnerability and honesty
Yeah.
about where you're at in a given moment.
Yeah.
Like, this is an amplification of the truth. But like, imagine the kind of people that like walk up to the cash register to buy a cup of coffee, and the barista's like, how you doing? And they're like, I've been thinking about my dead cat all morning. And the way that her eyeball popped out of her head when the car hit her face.
I also, just to be clear about who I am, I get so awkward with cash registers. I just shut down and stare a lot.
That's the thing, is like
I have an extreme of either sharing too much or just like
deadpan. That's true, because you're like verbally very vulnerable. But if I were to meet you at a party, you would be like, if you're nervous, you go neutral.
Yeah.
Which is an excellent choice for safety purposes.
It's a survival mechanism.
It's way better than a lot of us who go nervous and then get loud and obnoxious, for example.
All right, so speaking of weirdest thing about Shelsea.
Because I asked.
Is Shelsea winds up at 10 p.m.
That's true.
Shelsea often begins cutting vegetables and making large, exquisite meals at 10 p.m.
I know.
that's when you're most inspired to do your largest amount of cooking.
I feel like the day hasn't started until you and Bryce get home.
Yeah.
That's true.
Turns out I'm really turned on when people like my armpit hair, which is why I now let it grow sometimes. Yeah, fuck yeah, let it grow.
Pit power.
Pit power.
Mine's kind of weak. Just barely fuzzy.
I don't really smell bad.
To you?
No, I don't think I smell bad.
Really?
Like,
You just don't smell much?
No, it's like it takes about a week for me to have BO enough to wear deodorant.
That's crazy, because you like... Is it something to do with the fact that you shower every day? Why do you shower so much?
Greasy hair.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyways, what's weird about you all? Tell us your strangeness. Look into our eyes as we stare.
Sorry, we're not trying to be creepy. I'm trying to read something. MHC is it is in animals. I don't remember humans. Okay.
Oh, that's like because they haven't really proven pheromones in humans. They've only proven it in animals, I feel like. Like, I feel like there's, like, last time I read, I feel like it was a long time ago, was something like that we believe pheromones exist in humans, but they haven't been able to prove it.
Whoa, that's interesting.
And if I'm wrong, please feel free to tell me that. Because
I think that the perfume is it's like animal pheromones, which is really interesting.
Dana Marie joined, which I think is Dana McMullen.
Oh my God, Dana!
Yeah.
Oh, one of the best weirdos that ever weirded.
Yeah. What's something weird about you, Dana? Tell us.
Yeah.
Give us some comments.
Yeah, that's been so great. I miss Dana.
Yeah, that's crazy. And also, whoever is out there, if we don't know you, I know we tend to Not pheromones.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, genes.
Um,
I can't think of what's specifically weird about me. I'm... that.
great. I'm just
Generally
generally weird.
Yeah.
Great.
What's been going on with you lately that we might find odd or interesting?
Or just tell us about what's going on
Different
with you
immune
later.
systems being best for making babies. Oh, interesting.
And if we're not directly interacting with you, feel free to comment. We want to get to know you too.
Yeah.
Join the conversation. No pressure to say anything insightful or funny or whatever. Just let your words be heard on the keyboard.
I wish I hadn't wasted so much of my life trying not to be weird.
I know. I mean, that's everybody's
What a
thing, though.
waste of energy that was.
Yeah. I love cartoons. I love cartoons. And I loved cartoons for so long. And in 8th grade, when kids stopped watching cartoons, I thought I was like bizarre. I was like, am I still a little baby?
Yeah.
I never considered or had anybody around me tell me that that could be an interest you could keep into your adulthood.
Yeah.
And so I just held that in shame for a long time.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you freed yourself of that.
Oh, I love cartoons. I'm
Yeah,
so happy.
dude.
Yeah.
Like, our two favorite shows are like Avatar: The Last Airbender and Adventure Time.
Yeah, and I'm not even talking like Family Guy or BoJack Horseman that makes me sound adult. I'm talking like...
Well, you like Dragon Ball Z.
I like kids' cartoons. Yeah.
I haven't really seen Dragon Ball Z, but...
I mean, Adventure Time and Avatar, I think, appeal to... God, there was this episode of Avatar today that we watched that was like, this is the best thing for kids to watch.
Yeah, it's deep.
It's deep and it's so healthy for their relationships and what kids are going through. Mm-hmm. It was all about like loneliness and stuff.
Yeah.
Trying to do things on your own, how you need people around you. And man, I loved it. Dana says, Danny, you remind me of a cartoon character.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for seeing me, Dana. Greta. You want to read it?
I embraced my weirdness as a child, then tried to shed it, but realized being weird was way better. It helps me to find a weirdo tribe. Exactly.
Weirdo tribes.
You gotta get in where you fit in. Resisting the weird is sometimes part of the journey. Yeah,
That's a good point.
that is a huge part of it.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
can't be like fucking Buddha at like 12
yeah.
years old.
I mean, it's ultimately like the hero's journey is this journey of like rejecting who you are, going out into the world, trying to fight it, and then
trying to
coming back
find-
to yourself in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing everything outside of yourself to not be yourself.
Yeah. It's what is the Amish thing called?
Oh,
Spinka?
Rumspringa.
Rumspringer. That's the Rumspringer experience. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like, even like from an economic perspective, I feel like I've been able to capitalize on my weirdness.
What do you mean?
Like, as far as like my job, and as far as like the kind of work that I've been able to do in my life and stuff like that, like I would probably be better off and further along in my life if I hadn't spent so much wasted energy trying to hold things back.
Yeah.
And I wonder, and I'm like in search of the other ways in which I still am holding myself back.
Yeah, because like we're obviously young as hell on like the journey of life.
Yeah.
There's so much more there's so much more development and growth.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you know what? Speaking of weirdness, like finding where your weirdness works. Mm-hmm. I was working in schools, and like the teachers in schools are like, "Hey, like, how's it go?" Like they're so enthusiastic, and they're like, and I never fit in there. I could never muster enthusiasm because I'm so neutral all the time. Uh-huh. And then when I got into this mental health facility, and everybody was like weird and kind of awkward and neutral, I was like, these are my people.
Yeah, and like neutrality works really well for you at work, right?
Neutrality is half the game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is what I'm great at. I can be neutral all day.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have other comments on the Soul Stories page that we should look at?
Oh yeah, I do. Let me get that up. And feel free to keep asking or answering the question, what is something that is weird about you?
Yeah. I have a strong relationship with my giant hand glove. Dana, do you remember when we saw each other at Decompression, the Burning Man Decompression? I don't remember if that was the first time I met you. I think I'd met you before. But it was so cool to see you there, and you had your giant hand glove on.
That hand glove is like a legendary part of Dana's presence at anything she does.
Yeah. I wonder what it represents. It's almost like this thing that you can wear that's like, if the hand glove is the weirdest thing, then like you can almost hide behind it if you want. That's how I operate with my weird objects. Like with my puppet. Like the puppet has permission to be like weirder. I'm sorry to choke you, Esmeralda. Esmeralda has permission to be weirder than I am. So like she can express herself like much bigger. Or like my puppet Elda is able to be like so crude. Yeah. You know, it can do something that I cannot.
And express that side of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, so fun.
Joe on Instagram said, "Oh my God, how long do you have? I only like to fill glasses 3/4 the way up. I prefer odd numbers and I usually wash my hair on Tuesdays."
Wow.
I love that kind of stuff.
Those are things that are weird about Joe.
I love OCD habits too. And not like in like the diagnosable OCD way. That too, but like I love people that have to do things a certain way. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, it's just, that's so interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's like when I was a kid, I had to blow in the bowls.
Right.
Absolutely. It was a way to connect with people in a weird moment. I love wearing it, especially in airports, because it breaks people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because airports are like a place of people just lost in their own heads and their agendas and stress. Airports can be so stressful.
Yeah. And I think a lot of us can relate to that experience. I know, a lot of us can relate to the experience of, like, you're wearing something weird, you're doing something weird, you're walking down the street, and you're getting looks. Some people are, like, laughing and, like, looking at you, and some people are like, what are you doing? Or, like, you get so many looks.
Yeah.
And so much energy thrown your way when you have something like that. But it can be really fun, and it's good to shake people up.
Yeah, and you can
shake
totally
up the
thrive
normies.
off that. Yeah, scroll up.
It breaks people for a moment, Dana says.
I often enter a room making clicking sounds, and now I fantasize about having echolocation like a bat.
Oh my God. Earlier today, Danny put a paper bag on his head and pretended he had echolocation and was walking around the living room. Oh my God, that was funny. Weirdo.
Also, I've become comfortable picking my nose that I often will pick my nose in meetings that with people much more important than myself.
Dude.
I was on a Zoom call last night with a group of people and I was just like going at it. And I like noticed it.
One time when we barely knew each other, we were both driving, I think on 14th, and I pulled up next to you and you were picking your nose.
Felice says, for obvious reasons, I'm having to fight the lifelong habit I've had of licking my index finger as if I'm constantly poised to turn the page of a book.
Whoa.
I love that.
Just a lick of the finger.
Oh, Teresa's on from City Year.
Oh, hello.
Opened up and this popped up while Danny was speaking about his neutrality in the schools, and I remember and I immediately felt his calmness. Happy to see you staying calm as a cucumber. When I was talking about that, I was thinking about our school, Teresa, Centennial Elementary.
Oh, that's cool.
Because in elementary schools, teachers are so peppy.
Yeah.
They're so especially in elementary school.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I couldn't do it.
They always wear like flair.
Yeah.
I see a lot of them at the museum and they're always like wearing a crazy hat or like a bow tie.
And there was like, hi, how are you? And I'm like,
I love them.
It's great.
So sweet.
Some people operate well.
Some people can do it.
Yeah, that's positive. Jesse Fishman says, loved the news article about howling.
Cool.
Jesse's on the Impact Denver team helping us.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know which article you're referring to because I get interviewed so much these days.
Honestly, she does. She's been interviewed every day this week.
Yeah, it's
right?
a lot of
And tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow we have an interview too. It'll be fun.
That's
Callie
crazy.
might come, I hope.
Heather Lynn says, I enjoy reading thesauruses and dictionaries. That's just how I relish words.
That's cool, yeah. If
I
we
told
had a
her I'm
dictionary,
like kind of jealous of that.
dude, let's get a dictionary in our house.
Yeah, but why would we read it?
Yeah, just like flip it open randomly, read a word.
Actually,
I love that idea.
we should do that. We could do that for Soul Stories First Sundays.
Yeah.
I like that.
We could take notes in it and highlight and stuff. I love this idea.
Jesse says, thanks for the call out. Glad you're getting interviewed a bunch. Soul Stories is amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, Jesse's been awesome.
Yeah.
The whole team's been awesome.
Soul Stories,
I'm so lucky.
I mentioned Soul Stories in the Denver Post, and maybe that's what he's referring to.
She.
Or she.
And if you like what we're doing here, speaking of shouting out Soul Stories, repost this, invite your friends.
Yeah.
We just want to share this with more people. I know it can be easy to enjoy, engage, and forget, but if you could share this and tell people that it's great, we'd like this audience to keep growing.
Yeah, it's nice to have people commenting, have conversations. It's been really nice to catch up with all of you today, too. When I was younger, pre-internet, discussion at the dinner table would sometimes result in someone whipping out the dictionary to settle an argument. Oh, the good old days.
Oh, what argument? Like definitions of words?
Yeah, probably, huh? That's really cool.
Definition of words arguments are some of the best arguments.
Yeah.
I love those ones.
I haven't had one in like a long time.
Me and my nerdy friends used to walk down the hallways. They were smarter than me though, but I still like to argue, so I jumped in.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That's cool. I always have a new vocab word that I put on my passwords at work.
Uh-huh.
And recently I found a word, but it sucks because for like the first week I'm like, oh, what was the word? Because I don't know what it means.
I can totally picture that happening.
Yeah. My friend at work always gives me shit for it too. She's like, Shelsea, just write the same word and change the number. And I'm like, no, I want to learn words.
Oh, that is what I should do. I should change the word and keep the number. I should change. That makes so much more sense.
You could.
Damn.
But a word that I learned recently was logadately, which means to do things like with joy or something. Oh, no, I don't remember what it means.
That sounds right. That feels like that's right for that word.
Yeah.
Greta says, my mom is an English major, father a history major, nerdy parents.
That'll do it.
That's wonderful.
Do you know what logadately means?
Logadately.
I think it's to do something in time or something. I don't know. Let me see. Arbitrary or capricious coinage of words.
You know, why did capricious have to be one of the words in that definition?
Why? Capricious is a great word.
It's a great word, but that's a word that people would then have to look up.
But you know what capricious means.
Yeah, I mean, I know it because, like, it says arbitrary next to it.
Oh, okay.
But if it just said capricious, I'd be like, well, maybe I know what that means, you know?
New project. I want you to use this word 3 times in a week.
Capricious,
Assignment.
capricious. Done. Okay, Hannah says, I call bowel movements going jobbies. Thanks to my Scottish gran,
Oh,
who is
cute.
also deeply weird.
That's very cute. What is something that's weird about you? Feel free to message us.
Callie says, a skillfully made up new word.
Mm-hmm.
Logadately? Mm-hmm. Logadately.
Logadately. Sounds like caprice. Ooh, I want caprice now too. Balsamic vinegar.
Do we have any more contests to give away more pine cones? We have 2 winners of our pine cone contest. If you weren't on earlier, you had to guess what sound this was.
You have to go the other way. That's what sounds good. ASMR. I really, really love plants, like a lot. I don't think it's weird.
Shelsea also really, really loves plants a lot.
I have been known to hug trees.
I want another pine cone contest. Do you have another contest we could do?
Yes.
What?
I have to think of it, but I believe in myself.
Yeah. If you guys have a contest for us to participate in, let us know.
I think whoever can tell us something that you think is weird about American culture. What is the weirdest thing about American culture?
That's a good one.
Because I think we kind of like are like, it's almost like how like white culture is considered the norm.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sorry. The bottom comment.
Okay, let me.
Yeah. Go.
Okay, what? I'm at.
Kelly says I masturbate to Alexa playing sounds of nature. I love that Alexa joined into the masturbation fan.
Dendrophilia, the love of trees.
She said ecosexual.
Ecosexual, yeah.
Oh, express yourself.
Bjork has an amazing album called Biophilia as well.
Bryce, can you do your Bjork impression on the spot?
If travel, it's no, is such. Damn it, this isn't good. It's he believes in Venus as a boy.
Okay. Sorry, I messed up. We're back. Bjork impression.
Bjork is goddess.
All right.
So if someone can tell us the thing that they think is the weirdest thing about American culture, then you win a pine cone if you come and pick it up.
You have to find our house to get the pine cone.
Our house is pretty easy to find.
Yeah. You just look for the giant flagpole with an earth flag on top of it.
The bathtub with a mannequin in it, and the large nature shrine that you'll know when you see.
Oh my god. Well, last 5 minutes.
Last 5 minutes.
What's the weirdest thing about American culture?
One thing that I think is really weird. Well, here's a classic. If you've ever like been among foreign people and given them root beer, they don't like it.
Really?
Yeah. Root beer is like something that only Americans like. European people think it's disgusting. So we used to always give them root beer floats. As like a welcome to America, like, and some people would be like, oh, it's cool, it's interesting, but I've never had it before. And then a lot of people will be like, this is gross, you drink this stuff?
That's so interesting. One of our kids just won a root beer float contest, and they got to choose between pizza and root beer float contest, and everybody unanimously agreed, why would anybody not choose a root beer float?
Yeah. Pizza you can like get at school on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh my god, root beer floats are good.
Root beer float. I don't like root beer, but root beer floats are amazing.
Yeah. Callie says Trump? That is I wish it was more weird.
Yeah, I feel like that's not weird to a lot of people.
Bolsonaro. Oh my god.
Hot dogs are weird. That's not American. Is it?
No, I think that's a European thing.
Oh.
We are simultaneously unusually friendly. Foreign visitors note this, but also don't trust anyone. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Would you say that too in your experience?
I think so. Yeah. Like there's definitely weird ways in which Americans can be like super on lockdown. Like
We're kind of cold, I feel like.
Yeah, well, especially people from your part of the country.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Californians are very like, ah!
And Ohioans
That's my
are
impression
like,
of Californian.
don't ever do that around me.
Yeah. Ohioans are like, no.
Yeah.
Definitely not the weirdest, but I realized from traveling that saying bless you after a sneeze really makes no sense. Yeah, that's like, and that's another thing is like there's a lot of religious stuff in American culture, especially compared to like Europe. Like a lot of people will say, like to your health is the more common thing to say for sneeze. But in the US we say bless you still.
It kind of feels similar to bless you and to your health, kind of.
To me, it feels, bless you is like a religious thing. Like God bless you.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah. But as far as like the lockdown thing, like for example, couch surfing is like not as famous in the United States, but it's way more famous in a lot of other countries. It's like super common. And like just the idea of like welcoming someone into your house,
Yeah.
you know, or even like woofing, like bringing people in to work on your property or anything like that.
Yeah.
Americans are much more like, first of all, they don't want to give things away for free.
No.
And second of all, they don't want to like share, and they don't want to bring people into their private space.
Right. And we keep that narrative going by saying people are inherently selfish.
Yeah.
You know?
There's like that lack of trust.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I wonder if people have like narratives that are like very American.
Yeah.
That like
Well, the bootstraps thing.
the bootstraps thing. Yeah.
Delusion.
Yeah.
It said with the hope that God will keep you safe from the plague. Oh, that's cool. So maybe it's an English thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
See, that's funny.
I heard it came from the plague. If you sneeze, you might have it.
We like we're holding on to that thing and we have no context to why that thing exists.
Yeah.
Like, bless you.
I love stuff like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's same with the ring around the rosy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Creepy.
For our last 2 minutes, what's something weird about you? Feel free to comment, share your love, share your weirdness, share anything you want. We're a pretty open space.
Kali says, laws regarding adult sexual activity make zero sense to me, as does the fact that we say I love you forever by involving the government. Yeah, like marriage involves the government.
But so, you know what's crazy? Well, I think something weird about America too, at least compared to South America, is that we move out of our homes
Yeah.
at 18.
Yeah. I know. Economically, it doesn't make sense.
No, it really doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But that's like very American tradition.
Yeah, it's the bootstraps thing.
Is that anywhere else in the world? Is that European too?
I'm not an expert. I haven't spent very much time in England, for example, but in a lot of the Latin countries, it's not common. Like in Spain and Italy and stuff, that wouldn't happen.
Yeah, and like speaking of sex stuff, like in Brazil, going to a motel.
Yeah,
That's
because
where you have sex.
Yeah, because people live with their parents, and so they'll
So you
go
don't
to
have sex in the parents' home.
Yeah, like you would just go as a 30-year-old with your partner to a sex hotel.
Unless you're married and live together.
Yeah.
That's
Very interesting.
crazy.
Yeah. And like when you think about like Scandinavian stuff with like the saunas and stuff,
What's that?
I feel like in the United States, the human body is like almost exclusively like either disgusting or over-sexualized, and those are your two options.
Yeah.
So like booty shorts and cleavage are fine, but like just a human being naked is like, you better look like a supermodel.
Yeah.
You know, or otherwise it's gross or very uncomfortable. But like in Finland and stuff, like people just, the whole family gets together and takes off all their clothes and sits in the sauna.
That's so much healthier.
Yeah.
That would be so much healthier for our bodies.
Yeah. Like I remember being there and being like, this old woman, like this is what I'm going to look like when I'm an old lady. I've never seen a naked old woman before.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I have a right to know.
Right. Like that is a part of our progression.
Yeah. Crazy.
All right. What do we want to say as our final words?
You know what, guys? Thanks for being weird with us.
Stay weird out there, okay?
Yeah.
Say some weird shit. And if it offends people, keep being weird.
Or maybe say you're sorry if it's like mean.
Yeah.
You know, within reason.
But if it's, just because you're weird,
Yeah, that's okay.
be weird.
Yeah.
Okay. We love you.
Thanks for hanging out. See you guys later.
Bye.
Peace.